So obviously over the last year and a half, the thing that's been dominating the headlines has been Xbox, Activision, Blizzard, merger, all of that news that continuously is coming out. But the question I think a lot of Xbox fans have is, what does this deal mean for Xbox? Is it the end all and be all of Xbox? As we know, it's been blocked right now by the CMA. So where do they go? Is this going to significantly affect Xbox? Are they going to do other things to make sure that the brand continues to be successful and they continue to be able to bring amazing games over to the platform, especially over to Xbox Game Pass? Well, Phil Spencer talked about it. He's reassuring their staff at Xbox, and you could say also reassuring the Xbox fans, the Xbox community, as to what their plans are with Xbox. So this is an article here from Bloomberg, and it looks like they got some information here from an internal call with Phil Spencer. It says Microsoft executives sought to reassure workers in the Xbox gaming unit that there's a way forward for the approval for the company's planned $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, while emphasizing that its success in gaming isn't solely dependent on the deal. So they are very confident that there's still a way forward for this deal. I know it did get blocked yesterday, and my mindset with the deal itself, specifically in the UK, is that I've just said, it's done. It's done in the UK. But all the analysts, a lot of people out there are saying that there are ways forward, but they also said that the deal was going to go through in the CMA. So it's really hard to believe all of the people trying to say that this deal will still somehow get approved. We will wait and see. I think what's bigger now on the horizon is, what is the EU going to do? Are they going to follow in the footsteps of the CMA? And then is the FTC going to utilize the CMA decision to bolster their stance against Microsoft and Xbox? I think that's far more interesting right now than the appeal that is going on with the CMA, because that will be very important, I think, for Xbox and what they decide to do in terms of operating within the UK. The article continues on here and says the acquisition was vetoed Wednesday by UK's antitrust watchdog, a potentially fatal blow for the industry's biggest ever deal. At an all-hands meeting for division employees Thursday morning, Microsoft Gaming chief Phil Spencer acknowledged the company's disappointment, saying the UK's decision will slow the approval process, according to a person who attended the meeting. So this is all inside stuff, I guess, here from people that are actually at the meeting, and they gave this information to Bloomberg. So still, he said, Microsoft's desire to pursue the deal hasn't wavered, said the person who asked not to be identified, discussing an eternal event. So they are still telling their employees, this deal, we're pursuing it to the very bitter end, and we believe we're still going to be able to push it through. So Spencer told staffers that Microsoft President Brad Smith was up at 2 a.m. Seattle time Wednesday, drafting a response to the UK Competition and Markets Authority. Now, when it comes to the CMA, I believe that it was 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the decision, I guess, came out on Twitter. So they knew this was going down. He was up all night writing this letter, and it wasn't a surprise when the news dropped for everybody else. He said Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood, who oversees acquisitions, held a senior leadership meeting the same day. And the Xbox chief said the acquisition was intended to speed up Microsoft's gaming plans, but doesn't represent the entirety of the company's gaming strategy, which would move ahead even without Activision, the person said. Now, to me, that's the most important thing that he says here and that we hear that came out of this meeting. And I hope that during the June showcase, they really emphasize how their focus is still clearly on what is currently going on at Xbox. I think that's one of the biggest questions people have with this whole ABK thing, is that where's Xbox focus? It's been seemingly on trying to get this deal approved for about a year and a half, or however long it's been. And now that it's been blocked and they're going to an appeal process, it's going to be even longer. But I don't think that the focus should be anywhere currently for a lot of Xbox right now, other than what they currently own, their first party studios, making sure that the games that are coming up from their first party studios are as good as they can be. And Xbox fans right now are waiting for them to prove all of that stuff with their first party stuff. Redfall is just around the corner. I'm pretty excited for it. I mean, I'm going to jump in. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. There may be issues, who knows, but overall the gameplay looks like it's going to be fun. Starfield is coming up. I can't wait to play that game. I mean, obviously one of my most anticipated games of the year, of the last number of years. So there is a lot of good stuff around the corner. And there's also Forza Motorsport, where we just saw that really cool accessibility video where they're doing a lot of interesting stuff with that game. I think that's probably going to be their biggest, highest rated one out of them all. It's going to be between Starfield and Forza, but Forza always just knocks it out of the park. So it's going to be a good year still from a first party perspective, in my opinion, from Xbox. But they got to reassure the fans that the focus isn't going to be on this appeal for another 9 months or however long it may take. It's going to be on making sure that the Xbox currently in its current form is still here, and that their strategy isn't going to be affected if this deal completely gets blocked. We know that they're trying to expand out into mobile. And one of the interesting things that came out of these documents from the CMA's decision is that they actually had already looked at acquiring other mobile companies. In fact, in the CMA's report, they say here, however, we also consider that this could be achieved by less anti-competitive means than the merger, and Microsoft could acquire attractive content and experience with player engagement and acquisition by buying a different mobile games publisher. This appears to have been Microsoft's strategy, attempted to buy redacted and said redacted. So they attempted here, it clearly says, to previously buy mobile gaming companies, and it obviously didn't work. It did not go through. But I don't know about you, but when it comes to Xbox, I couldn't care less about the mobile side of gaming, which is why this deal now, at this point, the longer that their focus stays on that, it has me thinking that I would rather them just really get back to focusing on their first party games, their studios, everything that is coming out for the Xbox Series X and S, and making sure that those things are at the best of its ability. And this deal not going through shouldn't affect that whatsoever. But I mean, Phil Spencer here is reassuring that that is the case. And I believe him, because if you look at everything, you look at Game Pass, you look at their overall investments, there's no way that if this deal just completely falls apart, that everything that they have is going to be a failure. So we will see what happens going forward, whatever other decisions are made. But Phil Spencer out here reassuring their own employees at an all staff meeting, or whatever you want to call it, that they are still trying to get this deal through, and it is in no way going to affect the company's gaming strategy. So for those out there, you believe Phil Spencer, Xbox gaming is going absolutely nowhere, no matter what happens with ABK. But I will leave the video there, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.